Hi, everybody. Jack O'Malley on this snowy, cold Monday. I'm recording this pretty much at high noon as I'm going to be, I got some things to do this afternoon and whatnot, and I wanted to make sure I got this recorded. So if something happens in the afternoon that I missed, I'll pick up on Monday. But a couple things I want to talk about. Wearing my old, what was this, from '06, I think, my Tiger shirt. They're in spring training. I love it. It's a sign. I've always enjoyed baseball, as you might know. So that's a good sign, right? That spring is coming. The boys of summer. I just want to touch base on, let's see here. What do I want to go with? In which order here? I'm going to start with the Election Commission. Now, if you didn't know, I'll go through my version of this. Every 10 years, the census is taken. And then after that, each state redistricts the House and the Senate and the congressional and seats, in the House. So they move it around because population changes. Maybe a state has added population, maybe a state's lost population. So we distribute those things around. So we're in that census year. Well, 2 years ago, the state of Michigan, the people of the state, said, you know what? Politicians shouldn't be conducting the redistricting, because basically the Republicans had held the House for quite some time, so the Democrats didn't like it, and so they squawked, even though when the Democrats held the House, they found no issues with redistricting by way of the legislature, all right? So when the Dems had control, they just loved how we redistrict. When the Republicans held it for a while, they don't like it. So there was this ballot proposal. Now, what's interesting is, in another case, and I can't remember where, but the United States Supreme Court said, yeah, redistricting is a political situation, but that's what the founding fathers wanted. They put the legislatures in charge of that. So, but the people of Michigan, led by this group, said, no, we have to have civilians do this. We have to have people, and X amount of Republicans, X amount of Democrats, X amount of independents. How we know people are independent, I don't know. And the Secretary of State, who I don't trust, is now in charge. That's what the people of Michigan asked. So we now have this redistricting commission, which is having issues because the census might be delayed. And these are civilians now running this thing, not the legislature. And then no matter what they do, there's going to be some lawsuits, because that's just how everything is these days, right? There's a lawsuit. So I just thought this was interesting. The Elections Commission, which was granted a $44,000 a year salary, and they will continue to get this salary from the term of the commission plus till all lawsuits are filed, as I understand it. They voted themselves a raise from $44,000 to $55,000. People of Michigan voted all of this in. I point this out because elections have consequences. I've had people squawk about the marijuana situation. Well, that got voted in. Not so much the marijuana, but how it's written out. Read the fine print. No absentee balloting, a lot of issues with that. Read the fine print. People voted it in. So when those ballot proposals pop up, my advice, read them a little closer. All right? But I love that the Election Commission voted themselves a $10,000 a year raise. All right, the other thing I wanted to talk about, our governor. She will be testifying. I saw this today. She will be testifying on Wednesday via Zoom. She's not like the inauguration where she went in an airplane of some sort and was with more than 25 people outdoors. She will be doing this via Zoom, but the governor will be testifying on, I just jotted this down, so I might have the wording a little bit wrong. She will be testifying on transportation while addressing climate change and fostering innovation and economic growth. So they are having the governor of Michigan talk about transportation, climate change, and innovation, along with fostering economic growth. This from the woman whose idea to fix the roads was a 45-cent tax increase. When that didn't fly with the people, 80% of the people said, heck no, she decided to go with a $3.5 billion bond that will take decades to pay off. So here we are with economic growth is one of the topics, and she's bonding 10, 15, 20 years down the road, charging that to our kids. Okie dokie. The other thing, the governor shows the folly of her thinking, the extension of restaurants and bars being at 25% till March 29th. And today was supposed to be the day they open up, but haven't heard word what she's going to do with that. So until further notice, March 29th, which sucks. But this is the administration that said, we are going to revoke the easement of Line 5, which will, by May 1st, they want it shut down. And with that would then be the shutdown of oil, which gets transported, refined, and comes back in gas. It comes back as aviation jet fuel, and it comes back as propane, which then comes back to the people of Michigan to heat their homes, and specifically the Upper Peninsula, where they already have huge energy bills and such a dependence on propane. But the governor, we've said, you're going to freeze out the Upper Peninsula. But who cares? We've got to shut down the pipeline. So what does she do this weekend? She puts out a state of emergency, an emergency declaration, allowing propane trucks and whatnot extra time on the road because propane could be in short supply because of the nationwide cold freeze, the cold snap, and so on and so forth. And so because communities might be in need of propane, she's going to ease restrictions. Well, Governor, you shut down Line 5, and we're going to be in a perpetual state of propane emergency in the state of Michigan. So here's the folly of Line 5. As I see it. Now, I know my critics who are environmentalists will think I am just a horse's patoot for saying this. But Line 5 technically, engineeringly, is fine right where it's at. It's been there since 1953 without a problem. Yeah, an anchor hit it, but it took a licking and kept on ticking. It is heavily monitored. It's watched. But people say, oh, we can't have oil in the straits. No oil in the straits. Hasn't had a problem for 65 years. Okay, all right. Here's the thing. You want compromise. Everybody says, we need to compromise. People are too much at loggerheads. Okay, compromise. Enbridge will build the tunnel. This will put the Line 5 in a tunnel. So now a guy in a golf cart can eyeball inspect it. If there's a problem, they can go out there, and fix it up. There could be other utilities that run through Line 5. There is thought that maybe an electric line could go there, easing electric costs to the Upper Peninsula, because right now they got to get it from Wisconsin. So that's interstate, so that's extra money. So there's all sorts of positives that could come out of this tunnel. All the utilities and things that are on the lake bed now could get moved into this tunnel, right? Getting everything off the lake bed. But no, environmentalists and our governor balk at the tunnel, not to mention huge union-paying jobs. Right? Huge jobs. So here's a compromise. And we're talking, I've asked folks, it would take they're working on getting to the tunnel. It'll take about 3 years to build the tunnel, and then maybe another year to get the pipeline run through it. Maybe less. So let's just go outside, say within 4 years, we can have the pipeline off the lake bed and moved into the tunnel. Why shut it down? Why freeze people out for 3 years when there's been no issue? It's because ultimately the governor and her supporters don't like oil and fossil fuel. Now, we are moving away from that to electric and wind, but it's going to take a while. So these folks that are just so anti-oil, the other part of that is, here's the other thing, you'll never get rid of oil. Jack, what do you mean? Oil is dirty and oil is rotten. Well, this pen has petroleum products in it. Everything we have, my shoes, this sweatshirt probably has some stuff in there. So that's my point, is let's be realistic. We want to talk compromise. So the governor whose idea to fix the roads was a 45-cent tax increase and $3.5 billion in debt and bonding is going to go testify before Congress on addressing climate change, fostering innovation and economic growth while shutting down Line 5. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll stay on it for you. All right. Hey, I have a virtual coffee hour coming up. You can find the link on this Facebook page, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. This is for constituents only. All right. I love everybody in the state of Michigan, but I do represent the 101st. I have not done in-person coffee hours because our governor says COVID is terrible. And I would be, if I showed up at a coffee hour in person, I'd get a new one ripped. So we're going virtual. And what I like about this is it'll be at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night so that the average folk who have to work and maybe can't make it at 11 a.m. on a Monday can be there at home from the comfort of their home. Look on this Facebook page for the link. Let us know. We double check to make sure you're a constituent. If you are, you're in. All right. So Wednesday's virtual at 7 is for constituents only. I'll still have a short version of this Wednesday at 6. All right. So I'm out of here. Have a good afternoon and evening. Bye-bye.